It's the rebellion of the colors, the insurrection of the words. It's the time, carnal. That's what the tick-tock of the clock says. It's the season of fasting, the month of the wretched. The harvest of tears has a taste of anger, salt, scorpion honey. It's a century of wind, a year of blood, a hurricane of people storming from the edges and the alleys and the barrios to the center and overthrowing the opera of capitalism, the farce of imperialism. It is finished for cynicism and lies. It is the minute when battleships sink. It is the second when injustice, tyranny, debt, the red dictatorships drown. It is the hour of the flames and the matches, my sister. It is time. The hour is now.
Yeah.
That poem is Fire Down, and I want to dedicate that to the Revolutionary Poets Brigade, who have done so much, I think, to change the direction of poetry from a passive art to a very active art. Once upon a time, there was a great poet here in San Francisco who took a 10-year vow of silence to protest the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
I know a lot of politicians I wish would take a 10-year vow of silence.
Yeah.
And he was also very instrumental in perhaps giving the name to the beats with his April Beatitude poems. And I actually had the pleasure of meeting him several times, once right there in the corner of the Studios Cafe. And I'm talking about Bob Kaufman.
Yeah.
The eyes of the poet for Bob Kaufman. Corrugated iron panels stamped on your forehead. Your eyes, 2 pennies rattling in a blind man's cup. Yet once, the sharpest beat on the scene of New York tenement parties. Later, tales of Tangiers, white slavery, amphetamine dreams. Snow in August. Jazz, jazz on your breakfast plate. And jailhouse ribs etched with a silver razor. And then somehow a busted nose. Then named Prince of Poetry, a black-rimmed bow sailing a bamboo raft into exile and silence. A baby Buddha perched on your shoulders, blowing a saxophone dirge down your river Nile. You know, one of these days I'm going to write a poem to those calzones up there. Sometimes, I don't always write angry poems. Sometimes I write love poems that are angry. This is for those ex-lovers that wait for you to ambush you in bars with a knife in the boot. Actually, Ryan is going to fill this with tequila, and he failed to do that. 3 seeds for your birthday. For sure, you can track me down. Not that I've been hiding. Find a place I sleep and wedge into my dreams. Your owl wings flapping on my chest. The scent of dust and ashes on your feathers. Your candy kiss, no different than La Pelona's, because you both wish me cempasúchiles on my headboard. And in your kinder moods, a whirlwind of destruction. Yes, you can place your hands upon my eyes, blind me like Delilah does, order exile to the salt mines, give me sand a drink on the reservation, pray that quicksand would swallow me, or the FBI clamp me in chains. But what's the point, since you get no pleasure from it? I can do the same. Make this poem a jungle, a guerrilla column sent to rescue me, a parrot on my wrist or a monkey on your shoulder. Confuse you with backward footprints, crumb trails that spin in circles. Pocus, pocus. Unlisted phone number, phony email address, fake Facebook page. Only I don't want to waste my time. Watch out! What you wish for doesn't bite you. You'll find clouds in your coffee and a life of sorrow. I'll take your bitterness and turn it into kindness. Send you this poem and kisses on your birthday. A silver cross from Chalma with opals from the desert. Plus these seeds, calabaza, tomate, chile, and rain to make them grow. Those cuatro money. Those are from my book that won me the nomination of Poet Laureate. It's called Native Tongue. I think you can find it here at City Lights. Sometimes I read poems. I just came back from Japan and visited the great Buddha in the city of Nara. The most impressive work of art I have seen in my life. And while I was there, I was totally inspired to write this poem for Magali. It's called The Great Buddha. I would be a Buddha for you. Sit patiently in the lotus, open the gates of heaven, walk through the 7 rings of hell, find nirvana in your smile, or a world of flame in your eyes. Sweep the seas with your kiss. I'd be a Buddha for you. Bring peace to the world and happiness to all the children. If the world were mine, with your hand to guide me to enlightenment, you would be the heart of my soul. If I were a Buddha, you would be my prayer, my happiness, my joy. Now, the nice thing about this poem is that with a few quick origami folds, and please don't try this at home with your own poem, it turns into a paper airplane that hopefully flies off and brings joy or happiness to other people. I actually had an epiphany at the Great Buddha that you pay for everything in this life, the good things and the bad things, but happiness is free. I'm gonna, in my set, I think, with sort of my signature poem of the last couple of years. I come from the barrio of the Mission that has gone through a lot of transformations, gentrification, you all know about it. And actually, I don't know if you noticed, earlier today at the festival, there was this big brown buffalo cannonball of a man hanging out. Did you guys see him? That was the brown buffalo himself, Oscar Zeta Acosta, who wrote one of the great novels of world literature, The Revolt of the Cockroach People. And he wrote it in the Hotel Royan, the Mission's finest. And if you don't know where the Mission District is, I cannot help you. And this begins by naming 3 poets of that neighborhood that I know and admire. Check out the work if you get a chance. This is called, this calls for a drink of tequila.
Is that tequila?
Yes.
I will need some for the
Yes.
next reading. Save it.
This is 16 and Valencia. I saw Jack Michelin on the corner of 16th and Valencia reciting Skinny Dynamite, and he was angry. And the next day, he was dead on the last BART train to Concord, and maybe that's why he was angry. I met Harold Norris shuffling around in a beaten world, his pockets stuffed with poems only hipsters read. It's a cesspool out here, he sighed, before returning to his room in the Albion Hotel, where angels honeycomb the walls with dreams, and the rent is paid with angry poems. I heard Oscar Zeta Acosta's brown buffalo footsteps pounding the Valencia corridor, and he was shouting poetry at the sick junkies nodding with their wasted whores in the lobby of the Hotel Royan, the Mission's finest. And even the furniture was angry. And I joined the waiters at the bus stop, the waitresses, the norteño trios, the flower sellers, the blind guitarists wailing boleros at a purple sky, the shirtless, vagrant vagabond ranting at a parking meter, the spray paint visionary setting fire to the word. And I knew this was the last call. We were tired of living from the scraps of others. We were tired of dying for our own chunk of nothing. And I saw this barrio as a freight train, a crazy Mexican bus careening out of control, a mutiny aboard a battleship, and every porthole filled with anger. And we were going to stay angry, and we were not leaving, not ever leaving. El corazón del corazón de la misión. El camino real is here. Thank you all very much. Now to the festival. I want to thank Jack Hirschman and Ethel Shaw and Byron and Andrea and all the people who worked on this festival. And here's Jack Hirschman, also a poet laureate, and you're all poet laureates. Poetas!